Does adulthood bring an end to creativity? My theory is we get caught up in problem addiction. We call this being grown up, but instead it is a pattern we have fallen into, and we can choose a different path. If you are an aspiring creative, you cannot live your life properly without learning this skill. Here may be a familiar pattern. You have an issue. Either you can deal with it on the day itself, or you come up with a plan. In the meantime, your brain starts running through alternative plans, second guessing. Your brain worries about hypothetical scenarios. You then move into this agitated state of almost problem seeking, task seeking, where you feel you should be on the lookout for little issues that you can solve there and then, almost like a game of whack-a-mole. Things that can wait, you decide to do now to give you a sense of closure. Email would be a great example. Some people like the idea of inbox zero, that you end the day having replied to everyone, so the tasks are on their list rather than on yours. The problem is, the more emails you send out, and the quicker you do that, the more you get in response. So in the end, you are just creating a higher velocity of work. We then valorize this and invest it with a form of identity, where we say, this is the serious business of life. I am a busy, i.e. important person. And those creative side hustles that I wanted to pursue, or perhaps a novel way of approaching an issue at work, are impractical or childish or outlandish ways of spending my time. We want to strike a balance, dealing with the priority issues whilst also being able to park problems and deprioritize the minor tasks to focus more on our creative output. The model here for fans of Peaky Blinders would be Tommy Shelby, who says, when you become powerful, it's not that the problems go away or that you can solve all of them. The problems get bigger even. You have more responsibility. The key is learning to live with the problems, to accept that they will always be there, making claims on your time and energy. But you know where your priorities lie. You know what you find meaningful. If you are an aspiring creative, you cannot live your life properly without learning this skill. The way to be creative as an adult comes down to two things. One is letting problems lie. The second is believing in the value of imagination to the quality of your experience. If you're living on default mode, you will find as an adult that life becomes repetitive. This works almost like a drug. The first hit is always the strongest, the second slightly weaker, and then the third is just chasing that initial impact. Let's take holidays. When you're a kid, Christmas seems magical without even having to try. You used to get a buzz for free. Now you need to pay money up front. It won't be special by default. This is where your creativity and imagination come to the fore. You're bored of the old Christmas songs, but have you ever tried writing one yourself to see if you could do better? The rule that applies to holidays also applies to every day. You need to take the time and invest some imagination. Otherwise, life will be on that declining trajectory where you've seen it all before. My final point is bigger in scope. I believe people slowly, without thinking about it, lower their sights. The exact timing varies by individual, but after a few years of adult life, people start to focus on just dealing with what is in front of them rather than how to move it in the direction of their ideal. Let's readjust. Let's move to a balance where we are managing the present moment, but always with an eye to what life would look like at its ideal. Tommy Shelby was an astute, practical man, but he also had extreme imagination, extreme dreams. He was always getting into trouble precisely because he wanted to push his empire to the limits of what was possible. Let our problems come from the pursuit of our imagination, rather than seeing life as a continual exercise of managing the present, of seeking and solving immediate issues. It is not adulthood per se, but problem addiction that gets in the way of our creativity. I wish you luck in switching this mindset. If you want some reminder or inspiration or ideas, I release a new video every 2 weeks. To keep up to date, you can subscribe. Please like or comment, and I will see you next time.